When you're falling, I'll be there above all.
But as you can see here, I've got photos of this, what I call, you may have heard about the bomb scare yesterday. There's photos of this bizarre fission device that was located in the inner city limits. And then I wasn't able to get photos of the network, but I have here my own compilations of maps that show some at least one location where these masked figures are able to go in and out underneath the city.
This is quite the.
I'm sure if you check the news reports that even though the police were able to were able to control the fissionable device that's in the city, which probably wasn't weapons grade anyway, they didn't find, and this isn't in the police reports, this other device that I have here on my photos that I didn't report to the police. You might be able to know more, but you probably know more about this than I do, which is why I came to talk to you.
And these individuals, do they look anything like this? And he's going to reach into his pocket.
Well, I got some blurry photos, so my blurry photos probably look like that.
Yeah, so he's going to reach into his pocket. His hand goes about up to his elbow, which is a bit weird. And he's going to pull out a blurry photo that looks pretty similar to your blurry photo.
Well, I imagine you have more time to examine the corpses that your team leaves behind.
Well,
I would say that without laughing.
They haven't left too many of these particular corpses.
Weren't there two of them up on the wall? I asked the Gamemaster.
And one in front of the wall.
Yeah, so that's at least three that's three that I've seen.
Yes.
But I'll be too polite to bring that up to Mr. Carrera. You know, your team of organized killers piloting supersonic aircraft in city limits.
It's fine, they kill for the government. Well, not even technically the government. Whatever.
The shattered windows are insured.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah, some several insurance companies would have a word with you. Right, but yeah, I mentioned, like, I don't know what this is. It looks like a transmitter, but I don't know what that is. And so I'm here because I want to help in any capacity. I'm a skilled investigator, and I've seen a weird thing or two.
Skilled investigator, huh? I suppose we could have a use for you. And this does sound very similar to something one of my agents reported. I believe it should be genuine if you have information that collaborates with his.
Why don't you corroborate my information with your information? And maybe we'll see if there's any consensus. I say nodding because actually I've pretty much gotten further than anyone else has.
Right.
But
in the meantime,
tell me that to my face. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like. Well, in the meantime, we have one other hopeful waiting in a nearby. Where is that? And he's gonna kind of squint his eyes a little bit and look around. He's like, just over there. There should be an antechamber in there where we have another hopeful waiting. If you wouldn't mind waiting in there while I sort a few things out.
I'm happy to help. I'll go wait.
So you go into the waiting room. It's pretty standard areas, some sparse couches and such. There's one other guy in this room. He's a kind of pasty, glum-looking fellow, and he's got like one of those water cooler cups of water. He's like taking a little sip from it, and weirdly enough, he has like a bow across his legs. He just kind of looks up at you, and it's like, "Oh, hey, are you here for the application?"
I think so.
Yeah, he's had me waiting in here for a good half hour. I don't really know what's going on.
He's very busy. There's a lot of things going on. I'm sure they haven't forgotten us and will get around to us when they can. And I'll smile pleasantly.
Yes, I'm sure. I'd rather be under some sort of oversight sooner than later. Anyway. My name... Fuck, what is his name?
Sal?
Jeremy. Fuck no! If it's Sal, I have a promise.
But that's not his first name. Let me get his first name.
I'm just flashing back to this old like comic about the Avengers and somebody pointing at Hawkeye saying, "I wouldn't call having a bow a superpower."
Implying that's his only superpower. All right.
I know, but it's like when we let him in, our standards were lower.
So he's gonna kind of tentatively reach out a hand. It's like, my name's Nicholas. What's yours?
My name is Liberty. I'm pleased to meet you, Nicholas.
Thanks. He's gonna like gulp down another sip of water, and we're going to go back to the boys in the warehouse.
So that is one thing that's the question that's on my mind now is how close am I to finishing that project about being able to plug in to the network?
It's probably going to be another maybe day or so, depending on how detailed you want this virtual person to be.
Detailed.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna take maybe 2 days.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. And I've got Epic working on that because he can do a better job than I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more of a VI than an AI,
Yeah.
but he can create one that could probably fool most people into thinking that's an AI.
Yeah, chatbot.
So we need to go back to Career. I mean, I gave him a thumbnail report on everything. Well, okay, I had Epic give him a thumbnail report on everything. I dictated to him while I was working. It's going to be taking another couple of days before we can try and do this hookup thing. Those flesh things we got to do something about. I was willing to brush them off before because of the low number of reports, but wherever these new collective people are showing up, these fleshy things are showing up too. That's getting dangerous.
I agree. I think maybe it's time I take this one seriously.
Well, that's what I'm doing. So, shall we head back to the Rock?
Okay.
Be nice to see
let's
what
go.
everyone's up to.
So you all head back to the Rock,
Mm-hmm.
and so you all go there. And Scrap, I assume you're there as well.
Doing something. I'm not sure what I would be doing. I probably finished up early
Wandering
in
the
the
halls
night.
messing with stuff.
Yeah.
No, why would I do that? That's not
Continuing to
allowed.
mutate.
Why did I do that? Why-
That's
why-
also
why
not
did I do
allowed.
anything?
I'm fine.
It's like, that is not canon.
I am fine. Don't look at the x-rays the doctor has. I'm fine. Honestly,
Alright.
I guess yeah, you might just be he put his feet over one of the banisters and just kind of hang out. You know, time's passing by, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back in the waiting room, one of the doors is gonna crash open, and there's gonna be a guy standing there. He looks like he's wearing some sort of rumpled purple tracksuit. And he's just gonna scream, "Fresh meat!" and Nicholas is gonna choke on his water. What kind of reaction would you have to that?
I would blink incredulously.
Turn into a pigeon.
So he's gonna kind of make his way around the room towards you. He's like, "So, think you've got what it takes to join task?"
Possibly.
He's gonna like swish towards you, his tracksuit, and he's gonna say, "So, what's your gimmick?"
I have a good head for patterns. I have an excellent memory and know several languages.
It's one of the normies. He seems a little bit distasteful.
I'll
It's like-
smile pleasantly.
It's like, well, more general staff's always a good help. And then he's gonna turn to the other guy. "And you, what's your gimmick?" And he's gonna kind of shakily raise up his bow and arrow. And he's like, "Whew, haven't seen one of those in a very long time. Where'd you find that?" And he's like, I made it." And he'd be like, Well, more power to you, I suppose. You good with that thing? And he's like, I guess. He's like, well, I'm sure we'll have a place for you somewhere on the back line. Might make a good bench warmer, huh? He's gonna slap him on the shoulder. It's gonna kind of like, kind of laugh a little weakly. And he's gonna kind of turn, give both of you finger guns. And it's just like, well, I'll be seeing you, I suppose. Well, it's about time for lunch. And he's gonna slam back, close the door. So that was an experience. Nicholas is gonna kind of turn to you with like a questioning look.
I'll shrug.
Okay. So after so I'm gonna kind of blitz through this area. He brings both of you in one by one, and he assesses your abilities in relation to what they could use on the task force. Nicholas goes in first. He's in there for maybe half an hour. He comes back out clutching some sort of badge, and he looks pretty excited. And he kind of like shows it to you. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so relieved. This is finally the safety I've been looking for." And on the badge it says he's an agent. He's a junior trainee agent at the moment. And it's got a bit of photo ID on him of him looking surprised. And when you head in, I assume he asks you some general knowledge questions about.
Yeah, I have
what
references.
you know, the conversation. Yes, he has some references. Like, oh, these references are very nice, very good. You seem to have a good knowledge of what you're doing. Now, I'm assuming.
Yes, my aptitude tests high in numerous skills.
And I'm assuming you wish to work on the support team.
I would like to serve in any capacity that I can. What I have witnessed in recent days worries me about the welfare of the city.
All right. Well, I believe working with our more mundane members is your preferred place. And he's going to raise an eyebrow.
Okay. I'll smile pleasantly.
Like, all right. Well, let me just grab your thing. He's gonna mutter, and he's gonna bring up a little camera out of the top of his desk. And he's gonna flash a quick photo.
I'll smile pleasantly.
And he's going to tap on his desk as a little badge prints out. He's gonna pull it out, kind of wave it around like a bit of a Polaroid, and he's gonna hand it to you. And that says, it says Investigation and Research Consultant, Junior.
Excellent.
All right. Now, this should give you access to most of the upper levels of the base, and you should be able to report to your supervisor.
Who is?
Ooh. Oh, shit. Well, your supervisor will be... Shit, where is he?
Well, we got one person on the super team who's always here. Scrap.
Well, you know what? We actually have a member of our anomalous team who's been looking for somebody to assist him with his information gathering. I'm sure you could be up for the task. One of our most recent HR directives has been the subject of an investigation and has had to depart the premises. Pending a
I'll
formal-
nod. That's. I'm kind of giving the look on my face of like, well, that's TMI, but shrug.
Yeah, well, I like to speak. Scruff is always looking for juniors to mulch.
I'll nod. I spent a lot of time in my life nodding politely to people.
Yes. So it's like, and before you go, I'll have you know it's a bit strange. I know you've probably met some other anomalous individuals, but this one's an important specimen. Well,
I can't disagree, sir.
well, I believe you should go down to Lab 4B. It'll be waiting for you there.
Okay. And that is never mind. I'll look up the directory myself.
Yeah. So you can after going out, of course the room's deserted. Nicholas has already gone off to wherever he's going. And after searching around for a little while, you can find a little pamphlet with some of the more basic
It's the
layouts.
future. There's an app.
That's it's a
No,
virtual pen.
Firebrand had produced a bunch of them for the new people when they came in. So there's some hieroglyphics on there too, right?
Yes.
Because he's helpful like that.
Well, that's good to know.
Wow. All right. So, okay. So, you are able to find Lab 4B fairly easily on this map. It's not a very deep level.
And my pass gets me in there. That's good. Also good to know.
It does.
So the passes are RFID tags?
Yes.
Also good to know. Can't trust biometric tests.
Might be a bit odd. Who knows? You might have like a bit of oil on your hand. You might have might be sick. Might not work right.
I'm joking. You really shouldn't trust biometric tests around me.
Yeah.
So I'll let myself in.
All right, you let yourself in. You hear some strange ratcheting and clanking sounds. Oh God, why would I say something like that?
Ratchet and clank?
Some ratcheting and clanking sounds that just kind of happened. You hear sounds of work being done.
Yep.
In this lab, and you see a strange shape kind of moving around in this somewhat dim light near the back of the lab. Looks like it's working on something.
It's on scraps, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what are you taking of mine? Stop taking my stuff. What?
I said, is 4B is scraps in the 4B lab? Is that who I just met?
No.
Oh. Who is in this lab?
No one. It's a trap.
You don't know. This is the guy
Turrets
sent you
appear from the ground.
Okay. They didn't
Danger
tell me
room.
the name of my supervisor?
Yeah. The name of your supervisor right now, your temp supervisor, because he requested you, is some weird bit of text, and then like it's some weird text that you don't know the language of. Actually, you would know the language of.
I understand all languages.
So looking down at this, it comes out as Deck is there.
Deck is there? Oh.
Deck is terror.
Deck is a terror. My
Yes,
character
sure.
would pronounce it perfectly. I'm not.
Yes, Deck is a tear.
What language is this?
You don't know the name of it.
Yes, I do.
You okay.
I comprehend all languages.
Here's the thing, though. Your character's tied to Earth, right?
I am, yes.
This is not from Earth.
Yeah, but he's on Earth.
Yes,
and he's in the same room.
I
didn't buy the level that makes me enforce the ability to be understood, just the ability to understand. So I can understand this. I'll let this go.
Yeah, like you wouldn't know the technical name for the language, but you can understand what it's written.
Pretty crazy. It's a language I don't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
It's already weird. But then again, the order people communicate in something I also don't recognize. It's a bad day.
A lot of weird things happening today.
Yep.
Okay, just don't start talking to me your alien language because it'll freak you out.
Okay. So, he doesn't seem to notice your approach.
I announced
fiddling
myself. I'm reading his name off the card.
All right, you read his name off the card?
I read it right off the card.
So it looked like it was reaching under and you read it off in the alien language, right?
Of course, that's how it's pronounced.
So he is going to was reaching under a table. He's gonna like bang his head on the table as he straightens up, and as he bangs his head, there's gonna be like sort of a hiss sound and some garbled sounds. And then he's going to straighten up, and there is a this. There's a this. The boy.
Oh, me. Scroll
Beep.
up. A gum road?
A gum
I want to
road,
zoom
yes.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a reptilian creature that's prowling around this lab, and it kind of stares at you for a second, and he's gonna like reply to you in its own language, like, "I haven't heard anybody speak that in a very long time."
I've never heard anyone speak it before at all. My name is Muti Carmusin, but you can just refer to me as Liberty, if that's easier for you.
A pleasure. My name is Tekaster. And he's going to hold out a clawed hand. He's pretty short. He's maybe only like just over 5 feet tall.
Just over 5 feet. I might actually be slightly taller than him. I'm 5'5".
Yeah.
I will shake his hand and say, "Yeah, you understand you requested an assistant. Is it something with unusual languages, cultural understandings?"
I wish to know more about this place.
Well,
I've been woefully under informed.
Well, we could start with the cultural center, the center of Mega City 4. This tourism board, many of the I've been to many of the finer art galleries, which I can tell you how much many of the paintings are insured for.
I think observing the art of a culture is a very good way of instilling its value. Well, not instilling, but observing and cataloging its values. Yes, yes. And he's going to start nodding and bobbing, and then he's going to narrow his eyes for a second. It's like, you seem to be adjusting to my appearance rather well.
It's been an unusual day. Nothing that breathes disturbs me.
He's going to think about that for a second, nod a little bit. And it's like, and my language, how would that come to you?
Well, if you subscribe to some of the theories that there is an language that all creatures that have chordates have encoded within their very nature as sophantic beings, there's a baseline that once you go ahead and understand the nuances of the morphogenics, the body language, and other sorts of linguistic programming, it's just a mere matter of reverse engineering it.
I'm not familiar with such a. It's like, I'm not familiar with such a hypothesis. Could you tell me more about this theory?
And it's a pseudoscience that's been discredited by many authorities.
Why did you tell me it then? He gets kind of angry.
Well, I wouldn't be a novelist if I was conventional, now would I?
He's going to kind of sigh exasperatedly. And he's going to concede that one.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, do you want me to talk about the people who fly or the guy who like projects his soul out of his body? Also discredited.
I am looking into such things, he says, raising a finger. I will quantify it yet.
I'm happy to explain any of this. If you allow me to synchronize, if you allow me access to your electronic schedule, we can go ahead and set up many ways to acclimate yourself. As a non-native of Mega City 4 myself, I think I provide a unique perspective.
Very well. I'll send it.
Yeah, we all know weird language. Apparently Arsenal knows it too.
Yes, I'll send it to you post haste. So
I'll familiar myself with his work and mention that I'm accredited in several things. What the crummy heck is he working on in the lab anyway?
Okay, so what he's working on looks like some sort of booster. So like some sort of micro booster.
Okay, yeah, if it's military hardware, I'm not that interested.
It's not really. It looks more like something that you'd put on some sort of scientific craft. And it doesn't seem to be chemically propelled.
Well, I'm definitely eager, since they didn't tell me they were like of national security or anything like that. I'm very eager to show him some of the photos that I've already found. Like, you ever seen a transmitter like this one before? I apologize for the low quality of the photos. My phone is crappy.
So like as soon as you like show it to him and say he's like you need like to a receiver to look at.
Yeah.
He like immediately like screws a little lens into one of his eyes
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of grabs it. He looks at it for maybe 3 seconds and then he says, "This is a transmitter designed to penetrate radiation, particularly strong radiation that might interfere with the waves."
So
Where did you find this?
I'll tell him the coordinates, the exact location of the warehouse. This is the incident where that bomb threat was reported the other day. I found this in one of the warehouses that I was looking into for the insurance company. It's supposed to be abandoned, but these people were building this thing. I have no idea what this is.
I can identify several parts that were reported missing from this very warehouse not a few days ago. I believe our friends and the rest of the task force were on that job. I can see that they weren't able to recover it unless you saw such a thing.
Well, here, this map on my phone is the last place I saw the device, which was here in this tunnel here, which has an undocumented ingress at this location here. The people who acquired it were both organic and cybernetic at the same time, but they're using some sort of method to communicate to each other that's mechanical or technological in nature. It allows them to suss out would-be infiltrators, because only people who have the correct cybernetics and the correct frequency will respond to certain protocols. That's my conjecture. All I know is they're very insular and speak of the great work, and you could probably ask Arsenal or those other guys about it. They apparently don't like these guys, as they responded to them with great force.
Some sort of robotic organic meld. Sounds pretty advanced. I would very much like to obtain one for research purposes.
Well, I don't know what happened to the corpses that were on the high wall. Some of the other Arsenal and some other team members apparently executed some of them, scattering both their organics and cybernetics across the top of the wall. Although I imagine by now the police have probably gone ahead and swept through it.
Yes, likely. Well,
I'm a little surprised they don't talk to you about it.
yes, as am I, although I'm sure that...
Yeah, we're absolutely shocked about this.
Otherwise...
To be fair, it's been less than 24 hours.
It hasn't been very long since they saw him last. But a lot has happened since then.
Yep.
So, you guys are going to continue talking on there. What is the rest of the team going to do on the ride of the rock?
Show up and report to career.
Okay, so you tell him all that you know, and he's going to confide in you that he just had someone who applied that gave him very similar information to what you're telling you. He's wondering if you knew anything about that.
Excuse me. I go back through the video files and pull up image of the civilian I had saved. Did this person happen to look anything like this? And
looked exactly like that one.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's her, all right. Yeah, she just came through. I sent her down to speak with Decaster.
You didn't tell me you made a friend.
Well, it was a civilian that was there just when. Actually, her presence complicated things. I couldn't detonate the power, the generator like I wanted to, without risking hurting her.
Entire city block and go to it in Fallout. But besides,
Wouldn't have been that big. Wouldn't have been that big.
I should be fine after a couple 100 years.
So unfortunately, they got away with the device and it didn't get destroyed. But yeah, apparently she found her way down there on her own from a different direction that we came in. Called the bomb squad and everything.
Well, if I look at this footage, you fly way after that. She could have just walked back down there.
I didn't see her again afterwards.
I told you we should have punched through that debris.
I was willing to try, but well,
maybe collapsing something on yourself wouldn't have been a bright idea.
Yeah. Well, collapsed on scrap, but
it would have worked if you hadn't stopped me.
Well, seems we found another smart person. That's really nice.
That's the nicest thing anyone said about me all day.
So
Unfortunately, haven't sent it to you yet.
where's she? So is this person going to be joining our team?
Well, she is mundane as far as I can tell, but she
Uh.
can work on support staff if requested.
As she
All right.
talks to the alien.
Yes.
Well, I've only gotten like an eighth through the way of saying hello to all the personnel on the base. I guess I could go say hello to her since she's new.
She's in lab 4B speaking with Dexter right now.
I need to see with him. Get with him and see how that rocket's going.
Okay, so do you head downstairs?
Yep, still in armor.
All right, so you come.
And just a reference for the new person, I don't do the Iron Man complete, human-sized armor. So it is a 7-foot armor. So
I know.
It's big, but it's not Ironmonger.
But
So
can it hold an egg?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So when you guys arrive down the lab, Dexter and the new blood are having a very heated discussion on what exactly is the purpose of a rubber duck. I don't understand. It just floats?
It increases someone's comfort level by providing a familiar-looking face, even though it isn't exactly like a duck.
But humans are not avian. He's gonna throw
bounces.
something against the wall.
The diminutive form, because of its neonatal resemblance to that of a human infant, it creates a pacifying reaction in many humans.
A duck resembles a human child, and he's gonna he's gonna bring up an image. He's look between the duck and a picture of a baby, and he's gonna be like, "I don't see it. This pup obviously has no bill."
True, but let's go ahead and look at this rubber duck superimposed with this cartoon duck here. Notice the large eyeballs, the cranial capacity, and the head. It's not exactly a duck, but it's a totem of a duck. Humans often... Gotta pause here a moment. Humans often are pacified...
Anthropomorphize?
by the appearance of things that resemble what they expect other humans to look like. It puts them into a placable state where they're willing to talk about things they normally wouldn't if their guard was up.
So he's going to point instantly at the duck in Firebrand's hand. He's going to say, "That does not make me calm."
Well, it wouldn't.
You sure? I feel pretty calm now, and I'll just kind of lightly toss it at Arsenal's helmet and just watch it bounce off.
Yeah, you would probably have. Well, I'm unfamiliar with your own domestic culture. Do you have other totems that you use to pacify yourself?
A thing or two.
Also, it's a visual stimuli. Humans are very visually oriented first, and then hearing and other senses coming behind that, which is unusual. Most other chordates on this planet would respond to auditory or olfactory stimuli first. But, as you can see here from a human, I guess I'll point at Firebrand, who I guess is a human. You can see here from
A
the way
shirtless human.
The way his lobe is forward, his eyes are centered in his head, gives him excellent stereoscopic vision. Not to mention he can see a wide variety of colors.
You're talking of it, like in the suit. There still, you're talking about him like you're not human yourself.
Well, I'm talking to someone who isn't a human. I'm Liberty, by the way. Pleased to meet you in better circumstances, Arsenal.
Career told us. Nice to meet you.
I'm very concerned about the things that we witnessed the other day.
I'm actually slightly impressed by your work.
If you'd witnessed what we saw before the stuff you witnessed, you'd be very much more concerned.
Well, I shared this data with Carrera, so I'll also share it to you. Does your suit have Wi-Fi?
Yes.
I'll beam the information over. I'll transfer the files to your suit. Like, all the information I have, all the photos, and then my own map data of both the subterranean tunnels and where I found the secret entrance and the last place I saw their transmission vehicle, as well as the transmitter vehicle. I was talking to Dexter here, who suggests this is some sort of transmitter that can breach certain sorts of radiation into space for something.
You see me do the whole like in the Tony Stark thing. I'm up in the air like I'm flipping through stuff. Virtual. You guys can't see it, but I'm going through it. Okay.
Wait. So like from their view, does it look like you're just like pawing at the air?
Pretty much.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't have a big projector. I've got a little one for things.
But I also mentioned that when I had close contact with these individuals, they have some sort of protocol they use to communicate with. It's probably technological.
Yeah, they've got a hive mind chip embedded in their skulls. I'm currently working on a false person to plug into the network to see if we can spy on them that way.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
In case you didn't get the memo with Carrere, they're calling themselves the Collective.
Oh, interesting.
They have a little bit of a
There's only room for one collective on this planet.
complicated mentality going on.
Well, that's a bunch of minds all working in parallel. Could be capable of huge technological breakthroughs.
But they do worship and are trying to bring about something bigger.
A sort of alien intelligence?
Of some type.
It also assumes that they're actually using them to work in concert and as equals instead of treating us nothing more than like drones, like an insect caste. Nothing but laborers and workers.
It looks like that. The behavior that I observed, people did their work without complaint and without any sort of verbal stimuli.
Exactly.
Well, that's highly concerning, especially if they have some sort of device, the function of which we can only guess at.
Well, like I said, I'm working on it. Unfortunately, I've got so many things on my table, or on my plate. I can only work on so many things at a time and still get out there and do stuff.
Well, this is a whole bunch of work. I want to hear more about you. I'll go ahead and just approach and go. So, what were you? So you're an investigator or something? What were you doing?
I'm a freelance insurance investigator. We're sometimes employed as third parties to investigate criminal claims, not to mention bounty hunting, missing persons, that sort of thing. I will recite my license number off the top of my head.
Does it usually end up this dangerous for you?
It's been more dangerous. Bounty hunting is way more dangerous because people will actually get violent about it. It's not my favorite thing to do, but the rewards are a lot higher. But I have a knack for people and unusual skills.
Well, I'm very much a people person myself. I think we could get along very nicely.
I look forward to it.
Hopefully they don't send us out to act as their heads of personnel again. But if they do, I suppose then that'll be all the easier.
Well, yeah. So, no, I don't know too much about this sort of advanced technology, but I can assist in any capacity because my character is a team player.
But you know what? I'm a team player too. Yeah, high five.
Yeah.
But I got a really pertinent question. I think. You want to go drinking? What time is it?
Important question. Time for drinking.
Yes, Firebrand. You and your post-resurrection drinks. We will remember.
I'm afraid. I thank you for the opportunity to go social drinking, but I should let you know in advance that I have a bad reaction to alcohol, so I don't drink.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I guess we could always talk over coffee at some point.
Yeah, because I'm not going to tell them it's like, well, actually, alcohol doesn't work on me at all because I constantly regenerate, but that's a different thing.
Don't worry.
Actually, I almost want to see if I can see through that. Since that is a lie.
Well, no, I said I have a bad reaction to alcohol. It doesn't actually work.
It's technically the truth.
I'll get sick before I get drunk, which isn't that unusual. But if you want to see through it, go right ahead. I've got a 23. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait,
might I use my own deception on this to identify the type of deception?
I apologize. I misspoke. 33.
Oh, yes. I got a chance.
So
The
you're
only
telling me there's a chance.
That would be if we would agree,
you
like,
know-
my knowledge of telling lies to other people myself.
it
in this
doesn't work
case.
that way.
No,
I don't-
unfortunately, it's insight roll.
Yeah,
It's
so I'm
insight.
just gonna have to do that. Which
Now,
I
the
have
pl-
no way of doing it if it's just
No.
insight. So I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
The plus 20 bonus doesn't apply if you can circumvent it, like, oh, I don't know, be a bunch of hive mind androids to have built-in microchips.
Oh yeah, at that point it's like, oh, that'd be easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We say it's like we talk between ourselves, like purely
No, but-
hypothetically.
Well, I will. My anomalous behavior is that I have the ability to immediately pick up languages and other basics of skills and other abilities simply by studying people's body language, conversation, that sort of thing. Which, as you can see here, I can talk to Dexter in his native language.
He's gonna like bob a little bit.
Interesting. I didn't know somebody else. Could knew his language. I mean, Epic has it in his base code, but
I don't actually know his language. I'm just picking it up by being in his proximity.
interesting. That makes it. Care to do an interesting little experiment then?
I'm gonna pause and then say,
Yeah, show him the stuff. Show him.
All right. Since Epic is the one that's actually my universal translator, I have him pick an obscure language and say something in it. Since he's technically not a person.
Yeah.
If it's native to Earth, I understand.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So it is a strange clicking language from New Guinea.
Yeah, I can speak that. I have the body parts to speak that too, which helps. I was a little worried that Dexter might actually require a palette I couldn't form.
So he well, I mean,
We don't know. what
Also,
he's saying,
seriously, my
but
parents
he-
were from the Pacific Rim, so that's not that weird.
So it's gonna be a New Guinea clicking language, and he's gonna click. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Yep. The hardest tongue twister, I think, is in New Guinea, or is it in Laos? It's the skunk rolled over and ruptured its larynx. Is the hardest phrase to say in this particular language. Let me look that one up. But anyway, yeah, that would be impressive.
Yes.
Interesting. So it's not necessarily has to do with being in the room with a person. It's you just apparently just know the language.
Skunk rolled down the hill and ruptured its larynx. Okay. There, sorry. Nerding out here.
Great, we have a language nerd.
Nice.
Yep.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
sorry,
he
that's
can
Zosa, actually. My bad. Which
maybe
is
he can
an
understand
African
his transmission. Maybe he can understand his transmission signal.
I completely forgot about that.
Was that the weird signal that we all? Now I heard that signal when it was broadcast in the underground thing before, right?
Yeah.
I'm asking the Game Master when you played that sound clip for us. Is that what they're playing for me?
Yeah.
But you said at the time that it's not actually comprehensible.
It is not actually a language per se.
Right. It's not a language. It's either a code phrase or some sort of passphrase or instruction, like a shibboleth or something like that, to communicate something. So it's not actually instructions, which is why they seem to be bowing down and worshiping it. It's not actually a language.
Yeah,
it's
it's
something
more like
else.
It's more like a communication of an intent rather than a language itself.
So
Well,
Epic
it would be
wouldn't
like
figure.
saying Operation Overlord. I wouldn't know. I know what the words Operation and Overlord mean, but I wouldn't know that was actually D-Day.
Yes.
All right, so it's not like just a machine language that Epic could translate.
If we knew what it was supposed to,
I'm asking the GM that because
Okay.
Epic can speak machine.
Yeah.
So Epic would not be able to recognize the language that it was sent in. It was something extremely complex and obscure.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I was comparing it to like Omaha Beach isn't actually the name of the beach they landed on. It was just a code phrase for it.
What about
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
What about this collective network signal? Or isn't that a form of communication that he could possibly understand?
It is, and he could technically tap into it, and like he could put that chip in his brain and get going immediately. But the problem is, then he's part of it.
Exactly. And whatever he knows, they know.
Right, which is why you're trying to build a false brain to go hold the chip in.
Exactly.
so we can tap into
Right, but this guy
conversation.
but he could translate whatever we receive.
Well, I could do it right now. I could plug this thing. It's just a network code signal. I mean, I've already deciphered it to a point
Right,
where
but you want a wall in between us and that. If you need
Exactly.
help constructing this device, I'm happy to assist.
the device itself is built. It's writing the false person, and Epic's working on that. And he said it'd take about another 2 days.
I'd be happy to assist him with the construction, if that could speed it along.
Well, if you think so, and you get beamed a specific contact number.
Excellent. He's not in this building?
No, he's sort of is.
Sort of is.
He's an AI.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
What's the A stand for again?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Got it.
You named him Epic?
Hmm.
And gendered him a him?
No, he picked the him.
Okay.
I think he kind of picked Epic because when I finally kind of figured out what I had and he was starting to react to me, I was kind of going, hey, this is epic, this is incredible, this is epic. I've given him the option to change his name, and he says he's happy with that name. So
Makes sense to me.
Nice. Epic origin story.
literally. And also, players stole the name from and half the powers and stuff about this character from a book he's reading. So
Sick.
where the main character's AI literally is named Epic.
Nice. All right.
So we got to figure out. All right, so we got to get that transmitter. We got to do something about these flesh things that are showing up.
Well, like I said, here's the secret to the tunnel network, at least one of their entrances. Which, did I see how they opened it and closed it? Did they use a mechanism, or did they just go next to it and it opened and closed?
It looked like there was no way in for that specific place that you could identify from the outside, but they just pressed a button from the inside on the
But I
elevator.
didn't see any
I
cameras.
recall hearing
No.
you say that there was a keypad and they put in a code.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was-
in the
the elevator.
Garage.
Yeah, that was in the garage. Yeah, in the
Right.
garage they pressed what looked like a specific area, and the keypad access opened.
Right, and that I'm assuming is because it's one of the old tunnels that they used when building the city in the first place. They've just repurposed it.
Yes.
So there would be the old network that's repurposed, which, interestingly enough, if the elevator is working, they must have built another power grid or restored the power grid that's already in there. And they can't be drawing power from the city because they'd be detected because
Actually,
no one
they
would
are.
be paying for it. They're drawing power from the city?
That's right. They're repurposing some of the Ordris's old buildings and using their power network. Apparently, Ordris are still footing the bill and maybe they didn't quite realize it.
Wait, so this cult has a above ground existence that you all know about?
Not quite.
It's a
Apparent-
splinter group.
And
Yeah.
also, you would know about the main origin.
I wouldn't.
You would
Right,
know about the public face of the Ordrists.
Yeah, I mean, I have to know about cults because people go missing. And
Well,
that's
the
usually the
Ordris-
first place we look for them.
The Ordrists aren't recognized as a cult as such.
No, they just have people join them and get brainwashed and then like give up their do they drop out of society then give all their money to the organization?
They do not actually.
Then they're not, I guess they're not a cult.
They just
Yeah,
become incredibly indoctrinated to the point of following all orders.
You know, like Scientology. Okay, so they're on the watch list.
From the government, no, actually.
No, I meant
They're
from
actually heavily incorporated in.
okay, great.
I know.
So,
That's
so
our
they-
problem.
they have context.
Now
in
you're
high
feeling
places.
it. Now you're one of us.
That's going to explain a lot of this. Well, I have worries about a transmitter that can contact some sort of otherworldly intelligence. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to help.
All right. Okay.
Well, we got a number of places to start investigating,
Yeah.
and an investigator.
Hello.
All right. So you got your investigator. You don't really have a plan, but you have several avenues that you can work towards.
Well, we
You gotta-
can't. Yeah, we can't actually. We'll go. Sorry, go ahead.
And you've got a new investigator to add to the team. So I think that might be where we end the session.
All right.
Woo!
And everybody gets a PowerPoint.
Yeah, I like PowerPoints.
So that puts us up to a total of 171, right?
Yes.
Well, you guys.
172, actually.
Okay.
I have 22 points gathered right here.
All
Yep,
right. So
Scrap has
that was all.
172 as well. There we go.
All right. Cool.
I may as well go ahead and put these points in on a couple skills then. I think that's my plan.
All right.
I just got here, so I can't think of what else I need.
Yeah.
Right, you just popped in. It's like, well, I got everything.
I have enough.
There's never enough.
Always more powers. Always more advantages.
When do we recharge the victory points?
Victory points? Oh, you mean
Start of every session.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
good.
Or hero points.
That's also when the luck starts. And it's like, I spent one of my luck points. Oh wait, I have 5.
You
Yeah.
have 5?
That's the maximum they let you buy.
Ooh.
It's on my sheet.
I did not see that.
It's on the sheet.
Again.
The maximum they allow you to buy is so that maximum is half the power level.
And what exactly?
You spend it, and it lets you re-roll the die. And it recharges and the victory points recharge. It's
and
not
given how often we miss.
It doesn't do as much as a victory point does. It doesn't let you like get new powers or take other abilities. It's just re-roll, and if it's less than 10, add 10.
Oh, ooh. Yeah, it says you can do it like spending a hero point.
But only for rolling. It doesn't let you do the other things victory points let you do.
Right,
like
it doesn't
not-
let you negate extra effort.
Or not die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's just re-rolling, which is this session.
Yeah, that did kind of get buried. I'm a bit 5. I'd be okay with like 3 maybe, because 5 re-rolls every session is a lot.
It's not victory. But you're the GM. You can make.
Sort of be like a wet blanket about it, but 5 plus use is a lot. So I'd say you could have like 3. Just 5 is a lot.
You're
And
the
sorry-
Gamemaster.
And sorry I didn't see that earlier, and sorry to be that guy, but Anti-Fun Patrol. But on the plus side, you got 2 more free points.
That is good.
So, all in all, what'd you think of the first session?
That's an interesting world.
Frank,
We do a lot of character bantering.
there's a lot of banter.
Indeed.
How'd you put it at like your second session, Hugo? It's 40% fights, 40% character banter, and and everything else is 20%.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. It was like 30% fight, like 40% like inter-character banter, and the rest was banter between goons.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have yet to, because these were just cultists and they don't really banter that much. You haven't yet experienced the goon banter.
But we should be getting up to them soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost feeling like Firebrand needs to like go get his honor back and like do a round 2 with the one that knocked him out last time.
All right. So I am actually hungry as fuck. I didn't have any lunch,
You should
Hungry
eat
at
more.
lunch.
so I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Well, thank you for running the game.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, great game. We're gonna have to talk because I want to make a flying power because I'm tired of rolling back.
I'm trying to hoofing it
Man, know my pain for the last everything.
for the
Alternate effects are your friend for out of combat flight.
yeah, for the vast majority.
Even Wonder Woman flies now.
Yeah.
Used to just have a jet.
They just didn't want to draw the jet. They're just like, fuck it. I know the jet's invisible, but have her sitting and flying nothing would be dumb. Just
No, it would.
have
All
her
right,
fly.
new theory. Wonder Woman still doesn't fly. She just has the jet and she stretches out.
Nice.
The whole reason behind the invisible jet is because at the time it was considered unreasonable that a woman would be able to fly.
So they gave her a
Seriously.
plane so she can fly.
Exactly.
Ah,
That is so roundabout and weird.
Well,
Well,
in
you're
the
talking
same
about-
vein, Wonder Woman was made by a BDSM fetishist. So, like, who knows? See how
and his
What?
wife and their
and his
mistress.
mistress.
Whoa!
They were both
There's
in on
a
it.
whole movie about it. There's a whole movie.
oh
About
no.
That's why in every single early Wonder Woman comic, she always ended up tied up somehow.
Yep.
Either
with
she
her-
started
with
out
her
that
own
way or
lasso.
would end up that way.
Oh no.
It was very strange.